Are you looking for the best wireless gaming mice? In this video we will look at some of the 6 best mice on the market. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description, so make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Starting at number 1. Razer Viper V3 Pro Wireless. The Razer Viper V3 Pro is the latest version of Razer's popular FPS flagship. This mouse brings with it a top-of-the-line sensor, refined shape, rapid 8 kHz polling, and reliable hyperspeed wireless connectivity, all in an ultralight shell. If that weren't enough, it features the company's highest performance optical switches that are rated for up to 90 million clicks each. Every mouse in this roundup offers great performance, but what gives the Viper the nod in my mind is its combination of unique advanced features, accessible within the Razer Synapse software. For example, it's the only mouse I've encountered where you can compensate if you hold it at an angle, which many people do without even realizing it, to improve your accuracy in a single click. You can enable dynamic sensitivity that adjusts your DPI based on how fast the mouse is moving. It even has a feature to match the exact DPI of your previous mouse by plugging it in first and letting Synapse get a read of it. Pros: now, 800 DPI from one brand may not be an exact match for another. This setting allows you to avoid the tedious process of dialing in your sensitivity all over again. The Viper V3 Pro is an example of where everything comes together right. It isn't the best choice for games that require lots of buttons or if you want to avoid companion software, but it's a stellar pick with impressive performance, ergonomics, and features. At number 2. Logitech G Pro X Superlight 2. The Logitech G Pro X Superlight 2 is the successor to one of the most popular gaming mice in all of professional esports. It's no wonder. The modern G Pro mouse has undergone multiple iterations since its launch in 2016, and the Superlight 2 represents years of refinement, both in shape, the quality of its sensor, and the reliability of its buttons. Perhaps as a result of its incredible popularity in the pro circuit, it pulls double duty as the best splurge thanks to its $150 asking price, but it's worth it for competitive esports players. The Superlight 2 features Logitech's highest performance optical sensor to date. Dubbed Hero 2, it's able to reach an impressive 44,000 DPI. The company prides itself on the accuracy of its tracking, so whether you're playing at low sensitivities and using big arm sweeps or high DPI with low in-game sensitivity, it offers pixel-perfect tracking. Its clicks are just as high performance thanks to its Lightforce hybrid optical-mechanical switches. These offer the impressive tactility of mechanical switches with the improved durability and speed of optical. Logitech doesn't share any expected lifespan, but optical switches usually range from 70 million to 100 million clicks. The biggest knock this mouse has received is that it's not all that different than its predecessor, the standard Logitech G Pro X Superlight. It features a new sensor, 8K polling, and an additional 20 hours of battery life, but the look, shape, and feel are exactly the same, and Logitech still has an added Bluetooth support. On the plus side, if you're looking for a very similar experience for less, the original will save you $50 to $60, depending on the sale. At number 3. Corsair Scimitar Elite RGB Wireless. As a longtime MMORPG player, I can tell you from first-hand experience how helpful thumb buttons can be on a gaming mouse. When you're juggling dozens of abilities, items, and consumables, 6 buttons just aren't enough, especially when you also need to stay moving to avoid a nasty attack from a raid boss. The Corsair Scimitar Elite Wireless stands ready to deliver with a total of 16 programmable inputs, a low weight for utility outside of MMOs and MOBAs, impressive RGB, and long-lasting battery life. Like a number of other MMO mice, the Scimitar Elite utilizes a thumb cluster of 12 programmable buttons. These can be anything from basic numbers, coinciding with your skill bars in World of Warcraft, to full-fledged macros with everything in between. The level of programmability is impressive, but what makes this my top pick is that the thumb cluster is slidable for easier access. On every other MMO mouse, accessing the full array of buttons is challenging, but not so here, which makes it a better fit, literally, for any gamer. In addition, it's also just a killer gaming mouse. It uses a high-quality marksman sensor capable of reaching a maximum DPI of 26,000. It has a 2000 Hz polling rate, which is more than enough for MMOs, MOBAs, and most other games, and uses optical key switches under its buttons rated for 100 million clicks each. You trade some weight for that thumb cluster, but it's definitely worth it for all the Scimitar Elite Wireless brings to the table. At number 4. Asus ROG Harp. The Asus ROG Harp Ace was one of my favorite mice of last year. It's positively svelte, weighing in at only 54 grams, but doesn't resort to a honeycomb shell to achieve that weight. In fact, it's remarkably solid and doesn't offer any noticeable flex or creak, even when you're trying to make it do exactly those things. It's supremely accurate, ridiculously fast, and is versatile enough for everything from essays to victory royales. The Harp Ace was designed with competitive play in mind. In fact, Asus partnered with AIM Labs on its design, integrating it with the company's dedicated AIM training software. It features an excellent 36K Aimpoint Pro optical sensor to keep your shots on lock and high-quality mechanical switches rated for 70 million clicks each. Most importantly, its shape is low enough to cater to the all-popular claw and fingertip grip styles in first-person shooters, but it's also long enough and wide enough to support your hand without forcing you to drag your fingers and slow down its speed. Paired with a great hard mouse pad, the Harp Ace is fast. Unlike many of its key competitors, it only has a 1000 Hz polling rate. While fine for most gamers, it's still not as fast as some of the competition at this price. It can be, but only if you buy a separate polling rate booster, which can be hard to find in stock, and really should have been included anyway. Still, it's a highly accurate mouse that's perfect for fine-tuning your aim and leveling up your skill. At number 5. Corsair M73 Wireless. Left-handed gamers are too often left out in the cold for PC gaming peripherals. Even on this list, there are ambidextrous mice that are clearly designed for right-handed gamers. If you're a lefty looking for a great mouse that's actually left-handed, look no further than the MW75 Wireless from Corsair. The MW75 earns our top pick because of its excellent swappable side button system, on top of just being a great gaming mouse in general. Included in the box are side buttons for the left and right side, allowing you to have proper thumb buttons no matter which hand you prefer. For the opposite side, there are flush plates that blend into the rest of the frame. Swapping them out is easy, thanks to their magnetic connections, but once they're in place, they're rock solid and won't detach without using a fingernail to pry them off. At 89 grams, it's not the lightest gaming mouse. Lefties are still limited when it comes to ultralight gaming mice, but this one is certainly not heavy. It features excellent slipstream wireless connectivity that offers up to a 2000 Hz polling rate and 0.5 milliseconds of input latency. Because it's Corsair, it's also totally remappable with commands, shortcuts, and macros, and has customizable RGB as a cherry on top. It's a great pick, and unlike those other mice, it's actually ambidextrous. At number 6. Logitech G Pro X Superlight 2DX. If you're looking for an ergonomic mouse that doesn't sacrifice gaming features or performance to get there, the Logitech G Pro X Superlight 2DX is the natural choice. Its name might be a bit of a mouthful, but it's easy on the hands and offers the same set of features that make the standard Superlight 2 our top pick for esports. The biggest difference between the two mice is their shape. The DeX features a taller, more angular design, not unlike the Logitech MX Master 3S, minus the thumb ledge that makes that one our best mouse for Macs. This allows your hand to rest in a more natural position, reducing strain over long gaming sessions. It also finally opens the G Pro X Superlight experience to palm grip users thanks to its larger size. In my testing, I found it to be significantly more comfortable without impacting my aim as I got used to it, and that's saying something because the Superlight 2 was already an easy mouse to enjoy. All of the other specs and features remain the same, except one, battery life. This new model is able to last an additional 5 hours over the original, 95 hours total. It still has the same excellent hero sensor with 44,000 maximum DPI and excellent Lightforce switches. Its differences simply make it more accessible to a wider range of gamers, and that's a great thing.